Oh, cool. How's my hair? It's abundant. Yeah. Who's got better hair than me, Patrick?
Who's got more hair than me?
Anyway, all right. So, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press. My name is Alex Bailey. I'm the president of the Fredericton District Labor Council, and I'd like to welcome you all here today to talk about the Voice of the People tour. So I'd like to just do some introductions here. We have Brother Ron Tremblay from the Woolstock Crown Council. We have David Kuhn, leader of the Green Party. We have Patrick Culford, president of the New Brunswick Federation of Labor. Louise Melanson with the Council of Canadians. We have Mark Darcy with the Council of Canadians. We have Jim Emberger from the New Brunswick Anti-shale Gas Association. And on the far left here we have Reno Wallet from Unifor. Okay, so we've come together here today to talk about, to hold this press conference and talk about the Voice of the People tour. Since February, we've held town hall meetings in close to 30 municipalities across the province. And we met with hundreds of people in those communities with the basic goal of creating awareness and expanding opposition to shale gas development and hydraulic fracking. We did basic polling as well at many of the town halls. Which is evidenced by the information you'll see on the side wall here, and somebody will be talking about that a little later. During the tour, we called for solutions. We called for clean energy alternatives, which we believe will create more jobs, better paying jobs. It'll be better for the environment and just better for New Brunswickers. These are real alternatives that are not being pursued by this government due to a lack of political will. So, at this press conference, we're going to give an assessment of our successes and talk about how the tour unfolded. And we'll also share the next steps that each of our subsequent organizations are going to be pursuing. So, I've introduced the speakers, and right now we'll start with Mr. Jim Emberger from Nebraska.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good morning, rather. Just to clear up a little confusion first that has occurred in the press about who Nebraska is and what our relationship is to the other people seated at this table is that we are all allies in this campaign of the Voice of the People tour, but we're each separate organizations. So the New Brunswick Anti-shale Gas Alliance is an alliance on its own, and we've allied with other partners for this tour. So it's often been confused in the press. I just want to straighten that out. We are a fairly new organization, and along with these older groups, established groups like the Council of Canadians and the unions, and we all have our own mandates and agendas. But tellingly, the one thing that brought us all together was our belief that we need to stop unconventional gas and oil and move our country and the world towards a healthy, prosperous, and sustainable future based on clean energy. And that was the glue that brought us together. It's been kind of an amazing year for Nebraska because we're formed around two complementary goals. One is bringing the latest peer-reviewed and independently done science to the public debate over shale gas. And secondly is using that same science to put it through the legal system, to cut through the politics and interest groups, and to bring citizen concerns to the forefront of our government. Well, we began our education efforts last October in earnest, where we published a citizen's guide to shale gas, and we started at the Union of Municipalities, and it was very successful. And so we planned to do a province-wide tour at that time. Well, about the same time, in speaking with long-term allies at the Council of Canadians, found out that they had similar plans, not only involving shale gas, but revolving around actually the democratic process here in New Brunswick. And at the same time, the unions were coming out with stands against shale gas, based on, their perception, their valid perception that it was not the way to lead us to a healthy economy, but rather a clean energy economy would do that trick. So that brought us all together in a Voice of the People tour. And the tour allowed us to spread all of those messages concurrently. And we had great reception, good publicity, and I think importantly for all of us, gave each of the groups an enhanced credibility. The Council of Canadians, during the tour, the Council of Canadian Academies came out with their report on shale gas, which kind of validated everything that we were all saying, and happened right in the middle of the tour, which was great. And then at the same time, we started to change in Nebraska the political conversation by coming out with our formal call for a 10-year legislated moratorium on shale gas. And the case against South Line, the case against unconventional oil and gas. So this public exposure gave us the confidence that people, and the education that we were providing through the tour, that people would actually know what we're talking about when we filed our legal suit, we did in June. So the tour was a great preparation for that for us. So our suit, which is called the science suit, is using all the science that we've learned and what we communicated to the public about the threats of shale gas as the grounds to challenge the government over its obligation under the Charter of Rights to guarantee the security of our persons, which includes the right to clean air and water, and to apply the duty to consult, not just to the indigenous residents of New Brunswick, but to all New Brunswick citizens. And for the first time, bringing climate change as a legal issue in front of the courts as a harm to the public. So now that we're pursuing that goal, we find also that the Council of Canadians is pursuing their goal of the all candidates debate across the province. The unions continue to become increasingly involved in social issues outside of their self-interest, the benefit of the entire nation. And I think all this speaks well for the return of real democracy to New Brunswick. And so, as the Voice of the People tour was the vehicle for getting all these initiatives started, we consider it a great success.
Thank you, Jim.